back to Bit by Bit, here for our Chicago Gaming Spotlight. I'm Janet, here with Jess.
Hi, guys.
And today we're going to be highlighting the video game art gallery, so also known as VGA for short. So me and Jess went to VGA's physical grand opening of their gallery. What VGA is, for those of you guys who are not familiar, they're an organization that was founded in 2013, and they're all about increasing the cultural appreciation and the art aspect of gaming. So they're highlighting the artistic nature of the games industry, basically. So it is kind of basically exactly what it sounds like. It is a video game art gallery, so it showcases the art behind video games. And yeah, we went to their grand opening, and their location is basically Wicker Park. It's like off of the Western Blue Line. And
yeah, it's close to Armitage and Milwaukee. It's a short walk from there. So at the first gallery opening they had for this location, they had Savior, which is apparently the first indie game entirely created in Cuba, which was really cool. And they had both of the creators actually at the event, which was mind-blowing. Actually, I remember I was like, oh my god, who's running, they made this, and it was cool because I didn't realize they were going to be there. I guess I didn't read the full description of the Facebook event because I feel like you weren't as surprised as me, but and
it's in that discussion tab, the one
right,
that no one looks at.
Yeah, no, you had to go deeper. But just, a little bit about Savior as a game. Like I mentioned, it's an indie game, and it's sort of about this character that's like a god. I think a little god is how they're referred to, and their world is falling apart. And so in the game, you're trying to seek out the grand creator of your world, and the more and more you go in, the more and more your character is starting to realize that reality is kind of a fiction, and things are starting to fragment, and so it's sort of yeah, I know it's supposed to be sort of this experimental game. It's a commentary on reality and God and just all sorts of stuff. So it was a really beautiful game.
Yeah, great art style.
Yeah, it was
makes sense because it was from the gallery.
Yeah, and it was such a joy to get to talk to. Well, we only talked to one of the creators personally, but they were both there. I really don't want to butcher the pronunciation of these names, but yeah. So Josuhe Pagliery is who we spoke with. I'm sure that's not correct. He is a designer and screenwriter. Mm-hmm. So, and then Johan Armenteros, he's the programmer. Mm-hmm. So they were both there, and it was cool to see both sides, although we did only speak with the artist and the screenwriter.
This has been a great experience.
Yeah.
I could check how people react to the game. Essentially, it's good, particularly the most polished part we bring, that's art, the aesthetic, and general the vision of the game. All people seem to like it.
That's the number one thing people react to, I think, especially at
the
first.
other thing, I tell you, I'm worried, but really not too much, because art seems that you could polish in terms like a volume level, it's go high, go slow, and have more testing. That I tell you before the game comes to here with no testing. So you are our first tester, so
that's so great. We feel so special. Yeah. Go ahead.
What stage of development are you in for the game right now? How far along is it? How much is left to go?
This is a tricky question because maybe in terms of the whole game, in terms of level, would be almost on a start. But we have all the animation made, all character made, and the core gameplay, and the design of every level, and less from the conceptual perspective, what happened, etc. Build the levels, take time, but really is not, and that for me is not the most difficult part. When I complete all this, everything related more with the gameplay and difficulty, so that will be done at the end of the next season.
Okay, cool. Why did you choose to fund through Indiegogo instead of Kickstarter? Was it a reason?
In Kickstarter, we are not allowed to make
Okay, alright.
Go,
We're just curious because it's not as popular here.
To be honest, if we don't make that campaign Kickstarter, I see which wise the audience and the tool we have now. Well, hey,
But at least you want 19
in 6 days, we will fight the asked for $10,000 just for this demo. So, people was super excellent. We received a lot of press, a lot of emails. So we see we're in a good spot right now. The thing is keep working and keep looking forward. I tell you, get better this season. Video game is based in iteration, so this part is.
That's fantastic. I've got to say, I'm really excited for being here now and thinking, I can't wait to play. So, you guys are doing a really good job. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it a lot.
I'm glad it's on Mac and Windows. You don't see that very often.
Because she's on Mac and I'm on Windows, and we always are divided.
Here in Cuba, Mac is not quite a popular
Exactly, yeah.
format.
There's a reason for that.
I know.
I don't like Mac at all.
It's all I have.
I'm forced to Microsoft. So.
Although I feel like for the event that was fairly relevant,
Yeah.
because that was a lot of his art. Although actually I would have liked to talk to the programmer because it'd be interesting to have his perspective on sort of like the programming side of this game. That's
Yeah, and
highlighted
the
for its artistic quality.
gameplay element too as well, I think would be interesting to see because there was like the gameplay was really interesting. Yeah, and it was apparently too we found out is that this was like the first time that people could play the game at all. Like they didn't do any
Yeah.
playtesting, and I'm like that's stressful.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? But,
Right.
No shit. I was surprised. That's all.
He was
that,
like, I'm
that
not
was-
even enjoying this. I'm
Yeah.
not even enjoying myself. I'm staring at the game and I keep thinking, oh my goodness, something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So,
but it was interesting watching like people kind of figure out how to play the game also because it had like this element of like you had to not necessarily a quick time event, but you had to like push like the correct button at the correct moment in order to like unleash attacks. So it had like kind of a lot going on that end, and people were kind of like semi-fumbling with it a little bit, and it was just interesting to see kind of what their approach to like the gameplay of this was, since it was kind of it's a little bit more experimental and it's kind of like a weird like genre mixed game. So it was interesting to see like the gameplay aspect of that.
Yeah. I also like to see how they went about like setting up a gallery for like video game art. Like a lot of times they just had like a still, of the screen of something going on, and it's so weird to see video games like in stillness, I guess, because like separated. I mean, we see it like I guess a lot of times when we read like articles and stuff online.
Right.
There's like pictures of that, but it's different because it's sort of like made up in such a way that it looks like it belongs in a gallery as opposed to like a
Just a
JPEG.
screenshot, yeah.
Like a screenshot or something like that. And also some of the ones where they had like 4 pictures in a row that sort of showed a sequence of events.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
It created the like fluidity of movement that we are used to seeing when we play a game, because when we play a game it's moving. But like when you take it to the art gallery side, it's going to be obviously not moving. It's going to be in like just a flat 2D art setting. So like having that on there was, I thought, really brilliant. It's funny because the next day I went to BitBash and VJ was also at BitBash, and I randomly spoke to actually the guy who curated the thing. And I complimented him on that, and he was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going for with having like that kind of movement to it, since it's taking games in like a context that we're not used to approaching them from.
Right. But all in all, I found it very enjoyable. It was a really well-attended event. I was actually surprised by how well-attended it was. It was packed. There's people, like, you couldn't move in the
so
gallery.
hot.
And it was so many people outside, just standing outside the gallery.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I kind of want to go back when it's not, like, the opening night, because I was so impressed that it was packed, but I also found it, like, hard to see everything I wanted to see. And, like, I don't do really well in crowded spaces. And so it was, like, a little bit hard for me to like relax and sit in one spot and like really take stuff in. Also, like getting to play the game would have been really cool. I did not get a chance to play it just there's so many people. There's two stations I think to play.
Oh, really? I saw the one.
Yeah, there was the one also where they were playing the documentary. There was a one on the wall.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it until close to the end either. But yeah, so it was nice that it was so well attended, and they also, I think they like, I don't know, they have like a pretty good like drink station going on in the back.
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
did.
hey, okay.
So, I feel like inadvertently we are always reviewing the alcohol situation at these events, but there's always alcohol there.
It's a good quality to have at an event.
So, I was very surprised to find that Revolution catered the event drink-wise. and all the drinks were free. I was
I
like,
know, I was
hey,
like, are you sure?
what's
That's right?
up?
Yeah.
Obviously, like, hey, give some money. Like, any tips you gave went to the gallery.
Right.
So, and something that was actually nice, because that was kind of more of a cash thing, and I don't tend to have cash on me, but you could like go up to the desk and like do just a donation off your card. So that's what I did. I just gave like $5, donated to the gallery, and then got my beer. They also had like some like kind of like cake pop-esque things, like little like pastry snack stuff. I only had like one of those because
I didn't have one.
just didn't feel like really eating them. But
Oh,
I
yeah, it
felt
was really
like
nice.
enough to take one. So yeah, that was really nice, and always a joy. And I thought it was really cool that Revolution did that. It's really nice to see like these large breweries doing stuff in the community. That's always cool. And something I really liked about the event as well is that, or just like the way the gallery was set up, is that like you walk in and they had basically like a movie, like a short documentary playing that kind of talked about like the game and the process of making it, and like why it's difficult to make games in Cuba, which has actually been fairly like largely covered as of recently. There's recently been like articles talking about like the indie game scene in Cuba and what those struggles are, and like that how it's an internet access issue, and it's also other things. So they talked about that. So they had like that background on there, and then I also really liked, from a gallery perspective, because I just love art museums. For I forgot the proper name for this, but the little like I used to work in a museum, and like we would call them like the art tombstones. And it's like a little information block that you have next to pieces of art. And for those, what they did is they did like interview snippets with the game creators, which I thought made sense because on the with traditional art, it's usually like like talking about like inspiration from the art, or talking about like what are the materials used in making like the art is on there. So like instead of having that, they kind of had like the creator's perspective, so then you could kind of like look at these stills from the game and take in what the creator was thinking when they were like making the game in general, and kind of use that to engage with what that art was. So I thought that was really smart.
Yeah, all in all, I thought it was a really brilliant event. I would definitely go to more stuff from VGA, in the future.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool, and I'm thinking about going back when it's a little less crowded.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to other events they put on. If you guys are interested in learning more, if you go to videogameartgallery.com, that's their official website, VGA. You can like sign up for like email lists and do other things as well. They will like pop up at other like gaming events in general. Like I said, I saw them at Bit Bash the next day. You can get just more information on their hours. You can also buy a bunch of different prints from different games. So that's like another thing you can do as well, which all of them look like really, really beautiful. So that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So thank you guys for watching. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it, with all your friends and all your social media. Also, you can find us on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram and on Pinterest and all those places. Links to those are on our channel.
Let us know what other stuff you guys are checking out in the Chicago gaming scene. We're hoping to do more of these, just showcasing different events, different organizations that are doing great things when it comes to Chicago and gaming. So let us know any things we missed, and let us know if you guys were at VGA, or if you're now going to check out VGA because of this video.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you here next week.
Bye.